Hi, this is Joe Schember with MohawkMakeReady.com, and I am here with Jennifer Matt. She is the writer on What They Think's Web and Print blog. Pretty popular blog, has a lot of expertise in the Web2Print realm. You were moderating a session at Dscoop, which we are live from, and one of the things that I kind of thought was very interesting and just kind of hit home with me is that you're really having a panel with online print providers, but the focus was not really the technology behind how they were doing it. The focus was really the content and what they were building and how they were going to market with it, and the technology was just really the enabler to get the customer to get the product or to know the business.
I mean, I think if you go to any, I try to go to a lot of events and things outside of our industry. I live in San Francisco. It's not hard to do, right? There's an event every day, but the pure web events are all about content. That's all they talk about. Like, no one talks about the technology. The technology is a foregone conclusion. Has to be there, has to work, not a differentiator. Not a differentiator. Because the expectation is it just works, and a lot of the software providers now in the pure web space are giving their software away for free, So it sounds like a new topic for our industry, but it's not in the web. And we need to be more, if the Web2Print thing could change one thing, I would say make it more about the web and less about the print. Because we know we're going to print it on the back end, but how do we drive traffic and users? And compelling content is one of the biggest ways to drive traffic and users. And it's not just content that you sell, but it's also content you create to attract people to your site. It's that whole indirect marketing thing. You provide value and you pull people in instead of forcing a message out.
Yep, and I think one of the other points that you had all brought up that was really relatable was talking about really how the platform is meant to really be convenient and a self-service for a customer. So could you comment a little just about how you've seen that trend in terms of how folks are making it more self-service? It's not kind of overcomplicating the process.
Well, I think like Web2Print 1.0 was like all about what the back end looked like, because you're selling to printers, right? And so printers want to know, how's it going to flow into my pre-press, and how's it going to do this, and what's the imposition look like, and all this stuff. They missed the point, though. The product wasn't really for them. The product's for the customer, and so I saw a lot of printers waste a lot of money on products that were good for them but not good for their customers. And they didn't realize it until they spent a long time implementing it, and then when they pushed it out to their customers rejected it. Like, it's harder. You're competing against email. Email's really easy. No structure. I can use it all the time. I use it every day. It's in front of me all the time. So you got to make it that easy, and you got to add value to the customer. We as an industry, because the Web2Print providers are selling to printers, keep adding features and functionality for the printers, and we should be adding features and functionality to the printers' customers. But we're getting sidetracked. And if I could suggest a course correction, it would be talk more about what's good for the customer. And when printers do invest in Web2Print, the very first thing they should do is do a user test with their customers before they let pre-press touch it, before they let anybody in the back end touch it. Make sure the customer likes it. In fact, make sure the customer likes it before you buy it. And everyone's got a couple, really good customers that they can test stuff out with,
Right.
So I think that's really important. The usability is key.
Right, that's great. And thank you for your time. I think you had some great insight. I'm sure our audience will appreciate all the kind of practical information that you provided. And hope you have a good rest of Dscoop.
Thank you, Joe.